Good morning, SBC. It's Tuesday morning. It's a beautiful day here in Hopkinsville. We're coming up on 7 o'clock, it looks like. And I wanted to share with you out of Romans chapter 14 this morning as we begin our day. In this passage, the Apostle Paul gives us some guidance. He says there in verse 1 of chapter 14, "Except the one whose faith is weak, without quarreling over disputable matters." Paul is trying to address the little things in life that are becoming big things in life. And he goes on in the same chapter to say this: "You then, why do you judge your brother or sister? Why do you treat them with contempt? For we will all stand before the judgment seat of God." There in verse 12, he says, "So then, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make it up in your mind to not put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister." Now, the Apostle Paul, in writing this to the church in Rome, is indicating that we can often make little things into big things as we meet as the church, and we lose the entire focus of why we're there. Now, we're getting ready to re-engage as a church, and as we do so, we're going to have to handle some changes. And those changes don't change what we do as a church. They don't change the doctrine we believe as a church. But they are going to be different from what we have done in the past. And we will need to accommodate those at least for a time. And that's my goal, that they only be there for a time. Last night I sent out an email to the church, and you probably have received it. Hope you've been able to see it. We will have an opportunity to discuss that email and the first opportunity for us to meet in-person worship, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday on May 24th. As you look at that, here's all I'm going to ask of you. Would you please make sure that we don't make little things into big things as we step into the church? This needs to be a celebration Sunday. And I know it's going to be different. I know it's going to be, I'm going to say awkward because of the changes that have to take place. But I will say this: we will still be singing to the same God. We'll be serving the same Christ. And if we do so with a spirit of love for one another, and if we do so with a spirit of accommodation for each other, I know that it's going to be an amazing Sunday. This last Sunday, we had Mother's Day, and a lady came and visited with us that I dearly love. She lives over in the Dirt Ave neighborhood, and we've gotten to know her. And Ms. Coleman is just a sweet, sweet individual who has suffered a stroke and multiple setbacks. And she has overcome all of those, and she had driven to the drive-in service and joined us in worship. You know, she couldn't see the stage. She couldn't see the people that were on the stage, but she could hear the preaching and the singing. And she said, "I received my coronation." And you know what? She had an awesome Sunday. Even though her view had been blocked, even though she was not able to get all that we would hope that one would have in a service from us, she went home with a smile because God had allowed her to get up, come to church, sing praises to Him, and go home having been with the family of God. Talking with her last night re-enthused me about the whole idea of what church is about. Knowing that God has called us to come and worship. The little changes that we're going to make, adjustments that we're going to make. You need to know that as your pastor and as part of this staff, we have discussed, prayed, thought, debated. We've walked our way through all these things because we've not wanted to do something just to be in lockstep with anybody. But we also don't ever want to do something that would in any way, shape, or form put anyone else in danger or cause a stumbling block for a brother or sister. So as you read that email, as you think about the meeting that we'll have Wednesday night virtually, I hope that you will think about the main thing being the main thing when we get to church. It's going to be a great Sunday. We're going to enjoy doing worship this Sunday virtually, but we're going to really enjoy getting back together on May 24th. I hope that you'll come for our open day of prayer on May 20th, where the sanctuary will be open for you to come and meditate, read scriptures, and just enjoy music within God's house. Help start this day off great. Focus on the main thing and make it the main thing. And let God guide all of us to a unity and a fellowship and a joy as we gather back together in the house of God. I'm looking forward to seeing you here at Second Baptist.